After refusing a high-paying job to stay close to my girlfriend, I found her secret baby registry, with another man's name listed as the father. When I asked her, she coldly said, "You were just supposed to make it easier until he was ready." I sent the registry link to everyone she knew, and left town with the job she said I was too small to dream about. I'm 29 now, living in Austin, Texas. But just 6 months ago, I was in Pittsburgh, where I lived my whole life. I was working at a decent tech company, helping my mom when she needed it, and living with my girlfriend, Marcy. We were together for just over 3 years. We met the way you meet someone when the universe feels lazy, by accident. I had a last-minute ticket to a Pirates game, and she ended up sitting next to me because her friend flaked. She was funny, loud, and sarcastic as hell. I liked her immediately. We started dating fast, moved in after a year, and for a while, things felt right. She worked nights as a nurse at UPMC Shadyside. Always tired. Always busy. But we made time when we could. Sunday grocery runs, movie nights, random road trips. The relationship felt real. Steady. Maybe not exciting, but safe. I thought safe was good. Then I got the call. An old college friend of mine who started a software company down in Austin wanted me on his team. The offer was insane, $145K salary, stock options, full benefits, remote flexibility once I got settled. It felt like the kind of offer that changes lives. I brought it up to Marcy that night. I thought she'd be happy for me. She wasn't. She gave me this long look, then said, "Texas? That's far. And what about your mom? We just talked about looking for a house here." I felt guilty. My mom has MS. I help her with appointments, groceries, little things. And yeah, we had talked about staying in Pittsburgh. So I told my buddy I couldn't make the move. I remember the look on Marcy's face when I said it, something in her softened. She kissed me and said, "You're a good man." That was 6 weeks before everything fell apart. One night, she left her laptop open. I wasn't trying to snoop. I swear on everything, I wasn't. But she'd been acting weird, distant, moody, kind of fake nice. So when I saw a Chrome tab open to Target Baby Registry, I clicked. At first, I thought it was for a friend. Marcy had a couple coworkers who were pregnant. But then I saw her full name at the top. Then I saw the due date. 7 months out. Then I saw the line under Father, Dylan Marks. I froze. Who the hell is Dylan? I scrolled, hoping, praying, it was some weird joke. Maybe she made a registry for fun. But then I saw the details. Diaper brand she told me she liked. The exact crib we looked at, just for fun, on Amazon. The nursery colors she showed me on Pinterest, sage and ivory. I couldn't breathe. I waited for her to get home from her shift. I didn't know what I was going to say. My hands were cold. My mouth felt dry. But I waited. When she came in, I didn't say hello. I didn't ask about her day. I just turned the laptop so she could see. "What is this?" I asked. She glanced at it. And I'll never forget her face. She didn't panic. She didn't cry. She didn't even try to lie. She just sighed and said, "You weren't supposed to see that yet." I asked again. "What is this, Marcy? Who is Dylan?" She sat down like we were about to have a casual conversation. Then she said, "He's the father. We've been trying to figure out timing. You were just supposed to make it easier until he was ready." I blinked. "What?" "You were comfortable," she said, like she was explaining a parking ticket. "I needed someone here. I thought maybe Dylan would come back sooner, but, yeah. It's his. It's always been his. My chest felt like it cracked open. So what was I? I asked. A babysitter for your life? She didn't answer. Just looked at her phone. That night, she packed a small bag and said she'd stay at Chelsea's so I could cool off. Cool off? I didn't sleep. I sat on the couch, staring at that registry. I opened my email. I copied the link. I sent it to her mom. Then her best friend. Then her cousin in Erie who just had a baby and had been planning a shower for her. Then to her supervisor at UPMC, and the pastor from her church who we had dinner with once. Subject line. Thought you'd want to see what Marcy's been planning. No message. Just the link. Then I packed 2 bags, left her apartment key on the counter, and drove to my mom's house. I told her everything. The next day, I called my buddy in Austin and said, if that job's still open, I'll take it. I left a week later. 2 weeks after that, Marcy tried to call me. I didn't answer. She texted once. You didn't have to destroy everything. I didn't reply. Because I didn't destroy anything. She built her whole future on a lie. I just gave everyone the invitation to come watch it collapse. I thought that would be the end of it. Move to Austin. Start fresh. Forget about her. But life has a way of dragging you back into the mess you tried to escape. I was 3 months into the new job. Things were going great. Good money. Good team. I finally had my own apartment that didn't feel like someone else's space. I was even seeing someone new. Nothing serious, just a girl from my building named Tara who made good coffee and didn't ask too many questions. Then one night, I got a text from a random number. Thought you should know, Marcy's been saying you faked the registry out of jealousy. I stared at it for a minute. Then another message followed. She told people you hacked her account, made up the registry, and sent it to ruin her life because you couldn't handle the breakup. It was from her cousin, Melissa. The one who had planned her baby shower before all this blew up. We'd talked maybe twice. I called her. What the hell is she telling people? I asked. Melissa sighed. She's spiraling, man. She said Dylan bailed. Said he freaked out when his name started popping up in messages from her friends. Now she's trying to cover up what happened. Telling everyone you were unstable. That you snapped when she told you she didn't want kids with you. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was so far from the truth it made my stomach hurt. But Melissa wasn't done. She's saying you stalked her. That you still are. I stopped laughing. What? She told her job you sent threatening emails. That's why she got transferred to a different unit. I don't believe it, but people are talking. Thought you should know. I hung up and stared at the wall for a long time. It hit me then, Marcy wasn't just trying to cover her tracks. She was trying to flip the story. Make me the villain. Paint me as the bitter ex who lost control. And she was good at it. I started getting weird messages. A few blocked numbers. Some voicemails with heavy breathing and someone whispering, psycho. One even said, hope you're not creeping outside her hospital again. I wasn't. I hadn't been in Pittsburgh in months. I talked to my buddy who worked in cybersecurity. Asked him if there was any way to prove I hadn't sent anything to her job. He helped me dig through email headers, account history, even IP logs. Nothing pointed back to me. Then he found something else. An email was sent to her supervisor from a Gmail account using a VPN. The email said I'd been harassing her, showing up at her work, making threats. But my friend found a hint of something the sender didn't know to hide, a forgotten metadata tag in a forwarded photo attached to the email. The photo? A screenshot of the registry. It had Marcy's phone model embedded in the file info. She had emailed her own boss, pretending it came from me. She was trying to build a case. I didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to fly back and confront her. Part of me wanted to forget any of it ever happened. But then I got one last text from Melissa. "Hey. Thought you should know, Marcy's baby shower is still on. But now it's a single mom celebration. Her mom posted about it. People think she's some kind of hero." That's when something in me snapped. She blew up my life, tried to use me, humiliated me, and now she was pretending to be a victim. I didn't want revenge before. But now? Now it felt like the only thing I had left to do. I didn't rush into anything. That's the part one want clear. I waited. Watched. For the first time since this whole mess started, I played it slow. Melissa kept sending me updates. She was fed up too. Said her whole family was treating Marcy like some warrior mother now. They had no idea about Dylan, or the lies, or the way Marcy tried to frame me. I asked Melissa one question: "Do you still have the group chat with her and her friends?" She did. I asked if she'd ever seen any messages about Dylan, or me, during the time Marcy was setting up the registry. She said, "Let me check." 2 days later, she called. "You're not going to believe this," she said. "She was sending screenshots of your texts. Talking trash about you to everyone. Saying you were boring, that you'd never leave town. She told Chelsea you were like a safe couch she could nap on until Dylan got his act together." My jaw clenched. Then Melissa sent me a screen recording. Marcy had a group chat labeled "Real Ones," Chelsea, a few co-workers, and Dylan himself. There were messages going back to the day I turned down the job offer in Austin. One from Dylan said, "Damn, he really said no? Thought he'd bail and clear the path." Marcy replied, "Told you he's clingy. But it's fine. He's useful for now." And then a week before I found the registry, Dylan again, "You sure he's not catching on?" Marcy, "Not unless he suddenly grows a spine." That's when I knew. They deserved each other. But they also deserved to be seen for what they really were. I didn't need to fake anything. I just needed people to see what was already there. So I copied the chat history. Screenshots. Screen recordings. Time-stamped everything. Then I waited for the baby shower. It was going to be at her aunt's house. Melissa said it was a big deal, people driving in from 3 states. Church friends, hospital co-workers, family. She'd even invited a local women's nonprofit she claimed had helped her through the emotional abuse of her last relationship. That was me, apparently. I bought a burner phone. I created a Gmail account under the name Truth Delivery. And I scheduled an email blast to go out the morning of the party. The subject line was, "What Marcy didn't put on the baby registry." Inside, a neat, simple collection of files. The registry. The group chat. The email metadata proving she tried to frame me. Even a voice message from her to Dylan, complaining that I was too soft to ever fight back. The last line of the email read, "Celebrate if you want. But now you're celebrating with your eyes open." I sent it to over 50 people. Melissa texted me 3 hours later. "Holy shit." Apparently, the party fell apart. Half the guests never showed. The ones who did were cold and quiet. Her mom cried. Her aunt kicked people out. One of her co-workers asked her point blank if she really tried to frame her ex. Marcy stormed out. Then I got a text from an unknown number. "You're sick. You need help." I didn't reply. Because I wasn't the one who needed help. She built the mask. I just ripped it off. And I wasn't done yet. I thought exposing her at the baby shower would be the last move. I thought she'd retreat, lay low, and finally shut the hell up. But Marcy didn't go quiet. She got mean. She went on social media and made long posts about being emotionally manipulated by a narcissist. She didn't use my name, but anyone who knew us could tell. She twisted every detail, said I tried to control her and isolated her from her friends. Even claimed I threatened Dylan, who, by the way, had ghosted her completely by now. She turned herself into a martyr. And worse, some people bought it. I stayed quiet. But inside, I was boiling. Until one day, I got a letter. From her lawyer. She was threatening to sue me for defamation, harassment, and emotional distress. I almost laughed. But it wasn't funny. She had turned lies into a legal threat. I sent everything to a lawyer friend in Austin who owed me a favor. He read through it and said, "You're lucky you kept records. This isn't a lawsuit, it's a scare tactic. But still, we need to shut it down." That's when I did something I never thought I'd do. I flew back to Pittsburgh. I went straight to the UPMC admin office with a copy of the fake email she sent using my name. The one that got me labeled as a stalker. I handed it to HR with a typed statement and a timeline. A week later, she was placed under review. 2 weeks later, she was suspended. Turns out, impersonating someone and filing a false workplace complaint is a fireable offense. Melissa called me after it happened. "She's losing it," she said. "Told her mom you ruined her career." Her mom told her to shut up. I won't lie, there was a part of me that smiled when I heard that. But it didn't feel like enough. Not yet. That job I turned down before, my current one in Austin, it blew up fast. We landed another round of funding, and I got promoted to lead dev. Started making more than double what I did back home. I bought my mom a new condo with 0 stairs and top-end medical support built in. And me? I finally stopped looking over my shoulder. One day, I got one last text from Marcy. Just 3 words. "You won, huh?" I stared at it. Thought about the job I turned down for her. The way she used me. How she lied to everyone and tried to ruin my name. How she thought I was too weak to ever fight back. And then I typed, "No. I just stopped losing." I blocked her number right after. That was the last time I ever heard from her. She gave birth a month later. Alone. Dylan never showed up. The apartment she once called too small to dream big in now sits empty, listed on Zillow with faded paint and an outdated kitchen. I drive past homes like that sometimes and remember what it felt like to be used. I'll never let it happen again. Mistakes were made, mine included. I should have left when the job offer came. I should have seen the signs. I should have believed I deserved more than being someone's backup plan. But I learned. And I didn't just walk away. I walked over the ashes of the life she tried to build on top of me. That's my story. Make of it what you will.